Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about envisioning holograms and how to start envision holograms and how to start. Yeah. So holograms is such a cool cool technology that we can use our whole body and our voice control to kind of control it. So yeah, how can we start? First, we need to sketch ideas out. What does it mean? For example, you have some drawing papers or some white paper, copy papers, and we can start drawing some stuff and trying to get the narratives done. Because for the holograms, the most important thing is not your 3D skills or your modeling skills or your developing skills. It's the storytelling. The storytelling which connects the user with the environment and the holograms you create, rouse people's emotion or empathy is and in an interesting way and and interesting narratives. That's the key elements. So the most important thing is to sketch your ideas out. Yeah, for example, because in holograms, right now our technology is not that mature yet, and everything is still we are still in the kind of a beginning level exploration. Like people start trying to figure out that how can we integrate with this technology. And thanks for the sci-fi movie, it like our films pretty much give us a pretty good sense about how we can integrate with holograms. So the first thing is to sketch out. You can use post-it, you can use your pen and pencil and start sketching oh, what should I do? For example, you have bunch of pictures on your in your living room and start to kind of print it out and sketch out inside the pictures or use post-it and start to putting where should I put my my creatures there somewhere and how can I interact with it. So first thing is to sketch it out. And the second thing, which I'm still learning, it's hard. Maya is hard. And make 3D models. Yeah, because the first step is to sketch your ideas, which requires your hand, pen, and pencil to get a tangible to make yourself a really think think how to solve the problem or how to create it. And second is to make it fast. So in order to make it fast and make people to get it immediately, you got to make a 3D model, right? So you can use Unity. Right now I am kind of downloading a lot of free Unity plugins and start to put a lot, because I was thinking about making my story as hologram, like a VR, somewhere VR, AMR, and AR. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but I open Unity and put a bunch of 3D assets inside and start letting them run and copy and paste some coding and trying to make it move. That's what my strategy. Even though I couldn't really make a 3D model, but I'm learning, and there are a bunch of great assets. Like if you use Unity, you can go to a Unity plugin, and there are a bunch of free assets with plugin, and you can hit play mode, and you can start seeing your character or your stuff inside 3D space. So that's how I start imagining what's going on, because something 2D on the paper is so different from 3D. because like I drew my story um black paper, use color pencil first, and then when I want to move to 3D, I feel like, wow, that's a big leap for me. Yeah, so I mean, like as a graphic designer, my background is a graphic designer, so I need to think specially. It's like I need to think 3D X Y Z somewhere. Yeah, so for me, it's a challenge. Yeah, yeah, and then right now I am downloading a bunch of free stuff, putting inside Unity. But in the future, I know I'm going to make it. So I might as well just learn Maya. Yeah, I know there are two 3D major softwares out there. One is Maya, another one is Blender, which is free. And Maya, it seems like you need to pay 1 or 200 in order to like subscription, like the subscribe, like a monthly subscription, like a 1 or 200 bucks, which is a little high, right? So yeah, you got to learn 3D. Yeah, that's for sure. Because holograms is all about 3D space. So got to learn it if you wanna play around with your holograms. Yeah, and tell a story. Yeah. So what the most important things for holograms is because it's inside 3D space and it has the it contact with the users directly. So that's why it can arouse people's emotion. It can increase people's it can immerse people more than VR. VR is more like you wear a headset because like 70% of human beings sensors comes from your eyes. So as for VR, you basically wear a headset and you got like 70 sensors covered and you think you are in a reality. But our brain and our eyes, it's like our physical structure is not for VR because we often get motion sickness for it. So that's why, I mean, VR is super cool, but some people couldn't really wear the headset for too long. So that's why there are some limitations due to our physical, our limitations. So maybe in the future, if we become cyber, yeah, let's say like half human, half robot, maybe we can solve the problem. But right now, because due to our body restriction, VR, unless the technology becomes super mature, right now it's not that mature enough for people to feel comfortable or loving wearing VR headset for the whole day. Right now, it seems like there's some limitations for it. But AMR, because the holograms is at the same place as your present place, so that's why it has less restriction. But it means like you need to think more of like the user experience. You need to think more. How can I interact with my holograms in person? Like you need to start like making it, test it out, back and forth in order to get the best user experience. Yeah. So there are four envision your hologram first, because like you got to think or dream about it before you execute it, right? So what's the 4 steps of envisioning holograms? First, early exploration is everything is possible at the beginning. It's like just forget about all the technology restriction. For example, like before we think about like going online, it's more like you will think about there's like a 2D monitor and you start thinking about there's buttons, there's like scrolling down, scrolling up, like all the UI elements is like stuck in your mind. And if you threw like hamburger menu and you just click and you will see the whole menu. It's more like, it's a fixed my setting of current UI experience. But as for holograms, you need to forget it. The best way to learn holograms is to forget what you used to do. So, as for the early exploration, the best thing is that everything's possible. For example, like I want to, I just say it. Just if something comes into my mind, just say it. So, for example, if I want to create a website, a menu, maybe there's some real tangible. For example, I go to McDonald's. For example, like I wanna order a Big Mac, yeah, and like a bundle or like a meal, and and I wanna order online and kind of like deliver at door. So probably I can just say it like, I want to order Big Mac, and then you will see like, oh, a lot of Big Mac, just like a whoosh, just like a go near you, and by using your eye gesture, you just like look at that. You don't even use your fingers, you just look at that, and those Big Macs, they know you are looking at them. So they just like, oh, if you're not looking at them, they probably know you are not interested. So they just go away pretty fast. So the UI interface might be really intuitive. For example, like I just say it like using voice control. First, like I want to order Big Mac, and then I shout it, and somewhere there's a sensor hear it and then project like some Big Mac, and then I just look at that, and maybe when I nod, then the Big Mac just like knows that I want it and start order itself, and all my bank account, whatever, just like pay it off. So I don't need to even like type any like my credit card number, my name, or to do like online ordering. All I need to do is saying it and look at that and nod. Yeah, that's probably the minimum gesture that I can use. So basically, it's impossible right now, because right now we still need to go online and type, Google it. And so you need to think outside the box, like, oh, what's the most convenient way, or what do you want? Like eliminate like the most easy way for you to order a Big Mac. Yeah, probably this is pretty easy. Maybe in the future we just think, like in our brain wave, there's some like I don't know, some sensors, and when you think about, oh, I want to eat Big Mac, and within a second, a Big Mac just in front of you, and you start eating. And maybe if you want to go on a diet, then the Big Mac is just illusion. When you eat it, and it start stimulate your tongues, your sensors, and you start feel full. It's kind of like a fooling your brain, and you thought you are eating a Big Mac, but actually you are eating air. Yeah, I don't know. It's just some thoughts. Yeah, but there are so many possibilities you can do with holograms. Just think about like sci-fi movies, and at the beginning, just write it down. Just forget about all the restrictions right now. Yeah, so that's the first early exploration. And vision setting, we all want to shoot for stars. Yeah, so right now, in the first step is like sketch out or think about like the concept. And second is to start making 3D models and start playing around it. Because like when people see it, they can feel it. Because 70% of our sensors of how we approach the world, how we sense the world, come from our eyes. So if we can see it, then we can imagine it. So if, the second phase will be make some 3D models inside 3D space. so you can start realize, like, kind of visualize, narrow down like your ideas. Yeah. The third one will be just like you need to you don't want to play safe, right? Because like sometimes the comfort zone will will kill you, or like sometimes it's not good to stay at your comfort zone. For example, like right now we have a lot of rules for design. We have a lot of like principles or how to design something, and you can pretty much see all the rules out there. But this is our designer's comfort zone. We know that, for example, like as for type, like you cannot use too many types for inside one page or something. Like there's some certain rules to help you, to guide you to make good stuff. Yeah, so rules sometimes is good for beginners to just like catch up, but it's not really good for the holograms design. For example, like if you caught up by too many 2D design rules. For example, like, there are so many rules, for example, like a button, like a hover up, or like a scroll down, scroll up, like too many, like, like a fixed UX UI thinking, then you might get caught in the comfort zone, because hologram is totally different from the web design and app design. So the next challenge is to forget about current technology and start increment like the layers of your innovation. And another one is like the last one is to leap ahead. For example, like we ask, what if? For example, like okay, so my idea is to say I want Big Mac, and Big Mac start floating like right in front of my eyes, and I don't even need to use fingers. I just use my eyes to flip the menu. Yeah, and then if I like it, I just nod it, and then the payment will go on the back end somewhere in the cloud. So after 1 minute, then a Big Mac just deliver in front of my door, or somewhere, like there's like a underground pipe, and automatically that my Big Mac will flow somewhere, and I just ready to receive at my place. Yes, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. So that's a concept. How can I leap ahead? For example, like how can I make it even easier without even saying it, or just like link to my brain, and when my brain wave start thinking about Big Mac, when I think about Big Mac, I can say it, and I can order it, just use my brain wave. So basically I don't need to move anything. I just sit there and think, and the Big Mac will come out somewhere. Yeah, maybe that's another leap ahead. I don't know. It's just like a thought. Yeah, so basically everyone doesn't need to do anything. They just think, and then everything will happen. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. So that's how we envision holograms. First, you sketch out, do a really good storytelling, how to use it, and second, you make some 3D models and quickly mock it up and start testing it out, and be the user, be the designer, be the user, jump back and forth. There's not many avatars you need to make. There's not many like something journal map. I mean, you probably can apply web and app design, those like UX stuff. You still can use it. But as for holograms, it's all about super user center. So you might need to be your user. So just jump back and forth with your design, then you should be fine. Yeah, so there are 4 key points for people who want to design holograms. First, like key points. Like what's the first? The first one is mindset. Yeah, think about the space. Yeah, not like traditional GUI, UI interface like a web and app design. Designer need to think about what exactly people do in the real world, right? So, for example, like how can people perceive it? How is the user's thoughts? And what's the holograms needs? You need to think about it. Think holograms has the life which you create, and you need to think about how the participants, the user think, and how the environment is. Yeah. So, and the second aspect is approach. Action taken when working on designs. Okay. So, the user or you are actually the center of the mixed reality. So basically, you need to use the whole room as the interface as possible. Yeah, you think about the whole room is interface and yourself is a controller, right? And how you use this interface basically is similar to what we do to our actual world. For example, like when I get Tic Tac, I just open it and I eat it. Like this is a reality, right? You will do it naturally. But if the Tic Tac is hologram, yeah, and I want to eat it, like for example, it's diet, right? Someone is on diet, I'm too fat, I need to eat less sugar. So this Tic Tac is basically a hologram. So when I open it, when I eat it, then how will this be? For example, when I hold it, can I really hold it and feel the weight, feel the texture? And when I shake it, can I hear the Tic Tac like it's clipping or something is jumping? And when I eat it, can I feel Tic Tacs is inside me? Like, can I feel the sugar, Tic Tac, the mint, and start swallow inside? Can I feel it? So, yeah. So this is probably like the challenge for holograms. It's like you never know. Like for some people, they might not like mint. They might not like Tic Tac, so they might put it away. But for people who just like me, I'm super addicted to Tic Tac. Yeah, if someone who loves to eat Tic Tacs, then what will they do? If someone don't like it, what will they do? If someone who just like not really like it or not really hate it, might eat one, what will they put? Maybe they will put. Maybe someone who doesn't like it will put into trash can. Someone like it will put somewhere closer to them, like the table. Someone who just feel like, oh, I'm not that into or not, they hate, might put in their closet or somewhere. Yeah, so you might think like a different users, and you might think about where they are going to put. So Tic Tac, yeah, and you might think about their weight. For example, like if you put Tic Tac on the table, it will still like on the table. But if you put on a paper, and it might crush the paper. So you might think about the mass of it, right? So, and the third one will be language. Okay, so think about like in the book it tells you about like imagine you are the film director. You are telling actor and actress how to act. For example, like if you want them to go somewhere, how will you command them to do? Like it's a language inside 3D space. How can you communicate to your users like how to achieve your goal, just like filmmakers tell actor and actress in the scene? Yeah, how to act. For example, like usually when we are exit from the pop-ups, we use like delete or delete button, or like there's a close and you just hit and all the stuff will close, right? Or yeah, so it's like X mark somewhere. But if you want to exit to a hologram UI somewhere, how can you tell or use the language so the user knows exactly what you mean? For example, like you cannot just draw somewhere an X and nothing shows up. Yeah, people might feel like, what should I do? Because there are so many possibilities. There's no limitation. Yeah, they might think like, oh, did I do something wrong, or like what's behind this holograms or something. So you might write some languages, which, for example, if I wanna cross it out or something, you might need to kind of like use a direct way rather than like a 2D description. You need to think the user is listening to your command. So you need to use the language exactly in the 3D space that can communicate your users. Yeah. So what's the skill set you must have? The skill set is, the new skill set is to have a storytelling. Yeah, like in the book, storytelling is the key skill set for holographic design. And the second one is 3D modeling skills. Because through 3D modeling skills, you can see it in 3D space, which means like you can, some people like me, I sketch in a 2D space like a pen and pencil, but for the holograms, you need to have more tangible feelings for the sketch because there are so many uncertainties. So 3D skills is super important. Yeah, so yeah, if you really want to do some cool holograms, if you have 3D background, that's amazing. You are just like a 10 step ahead of all other people's. But if you don't have, that's fine. Like me, I'm learning Maya. I watch tutorial like 3 or 4 episodes per day because there are a lot of stuff to catch up. Yeah, and if you are not a programmer, it's fine. Let's learn it. You can learn anything, anytime. Yeah, any skills you want, and you can always achieve it. Yeah, I believe that after probably half a year, 1 year, I will be pretty good about it, but I need to learn it. Yeah, so the fifth one is just do it. If you want to create a great experience in holograms, you need to just be the user and start doing it. Yeah, just start making some 3D stuff, put it in 3D space, test it out. If you got more extra budget, suggest you to get the real Microsoft HoloLens and start trying it out. Before a few years ago, I remember holograms was $3,000 for one set, which is not cheap. Yeah, 3,000. Yeah, 3,000. It's a little expensive. But I believe if you are started right now, start learning all the 3D skills, learning Unity, and learning like reading some hologram stuff, I believe the price will going down. Yeah, pretty soon will go down. And when your skill is matched to the point where your saving is good enough, and you think you can start making something in the hologram or HoloLens, and you have good savings, everything is pretty good, then start buying it and kind of play around it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.